episode 73 of PlayPSVR, the podcast. Welcome, folks. I love you. I love you, Alex. I'm in a good friggin' mood. And there's tons of reasons why, but we'll get into it. And here's the thing, Alex. The reason I'm so happy is because we had several entries into our No Man's Sky picture competition. And I know in the second segment we're going to cover them and we're going to discuss them. But, I mean, there were a couple that just blew my tits off.
Yeah. I mean, I tried to set the bar as low as possible so that people didn't have to work too hard. But what ended up happening is we had some real go-getters making some really good pictures for us. And I was blown away by the response that we got. And I was even more blown away by the quality of pictures we got.
They go and got me horny. Also, I just found a huge effing spider. Holy crap.
Adam, you gotta power through it for the podcast, man. We can't stop for spiders.
Dude, it's big. If it comes near me, I'm going to flip out. I mean, and the thing, oh, gosh, it's going to, whatever.
The podcast. Moving forward, Adam, Gamer Juice.
Gamer Juice, baby. So, first of all, as an overview, what you should be listening for this episode. First, obviously, we're going to have our reviews. And then we're going in the second segment to discuss our winners of the No Man's Sky, the random drawing. We're going to discuss the pictures, and then we're going to do our typical thing, talk about the games coming out, talking about the sales. But first, the Gamer Juice, and this is the one thing about tonight that I've been dreading. Here's the thing, Alex. I feel like this is an opportunity to get outside my comfort zone in terms of Gamer Juices. So I have... I don't know, sangria, I don't even know how to say it. Anyhow, it's sparkling sangria. It smells like dick sauce. So I am not looking forward to it, but you know what? Down the hatch.
Is it alcoholic sangria or is it just like fruit juice? It looks like a mixer, like you're supposed to mix it with something else.
I don't know. It says sparkling sangria. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. Is
it like really, really, really sweet? Like maybe it should be watered down or vodka'd down?
No, I think it's appropriate. It is sweeter than normal wine, though.
Did you get it in the ingredients section of a grocery store?
I did not.
Okay. For those who aren't watching, I'm eating pizza right now. My Gamer Juice tonight is pizza.
Nice.
I just got home from work, so it's time to scarf some pizza. No, I have a real Gamer Juice. It's called, I don't even know. I saw this at the gas station not that long ago. I had to go to a different one today. It's called Celsius Heat, and it is carbonated pre-workout, and it's thermogenic, and it apparently burns my fat and provides healthy energy. So we're getting slimmer every day, guys, and it's all thanks to the Celsius Heat energy drink, 0 sugar, 300 milligrams of caffeine, 2,000 milligrams of L-citrulline. Just tell me it's 2 grams, guys. We know what that means.
We don't know what any of this stuff is. Just drink the drink.
And it says that it's got a Meta Plus blend that's been proven in 6 published university studies. However, it doesn't tell me what those studies are, so I have no idea. I already drank it, Adam. I already drank it. It's cherry lime flavor. This is the only thing keeping me awake right now, man. I am running on fumes. And this is keeping me alive.
Drink the drink, because here's the thing. The spider is gone. I don't know where it went. So it's in this room, and I don't know where it's at. I'm probably going to die tonight. Dang it.
You know what they say, Adam? They say every time if you ever see a spider and then you suddenly don't see the spider, chances are it's crawled up your pee hole.
I felt something in my pee hole. I thought I was getting an erection, but it's just a spider going up it.
Speaking of erection, Adam, you want to tell the listeners what our Power A play of the week is?
You know it, because it's the only game out this week, but it is No Man's Sky. So Alex and I both got to play this game, and we're just going to dive in hot and heavy. So do you want to begin with my initial impressions, or would you like to discuss it first, Alex?
I'll just drop some information. So right now the game is on sale on the PlayStation Store for $24.99. It's half off the nominal price. This game has been out for a while, so what we're playing is a free update. to No Man's Sky. It's a big update that's added a lot of stuff to just the flat game in general, but they have also added VR, full VR compatibility. It is astounding. It's put out by Hello Games Ltd. Hello Games, they got so much flack when this game first came out, and they just kept grinding and grinding and grinding and making the game better and better and better. And bam, out of nowhere, we got this No Man's Sky VR update, and it is, not to spoil anything, but it is everything I always hoped No Man's Sky would be. But yeah, basically, this is a game. It is a procedurally generated universe. It is a randomly generated universe. What that means is when you start the game up, it is going to create a planet that nobody has seen before, and you can explore it, and the plants on the planet are going to be randomly generated, nobody's seen before. The animals on the planet are going to be randomly generated, nobody's seen before. And it's your job to explore this universe. So, yeah, you start on one planet and you start accumulating materials and building things and repairing your spaceship. And, buddy, you better believe it, the second your spaceship's ready, you're flying off that planet and going to the next one. Next randomly, procedurally generated planet. And on top of that, with this update, they've added swimming in the game too. So not only are you walking along these foreign lands, you're also swimming on these. Adam, I could talk all day about this. Tell me, you haven't played this before. I played this on PC a little bit. I was blown away and I loved it. And the only thing keeping me from continuing was the fact that there wasn't VR. Adam, you have no experience with this game. How are you feeling about No Man's Sky?
So initially I started the game, and if you remember correctly, there's borderline no tutorial. I didn't know what the point was. I didn't know what was going on. Immediately I was dropped into a planet that I was like, did I pick this? Like, I have no background. I was just thrown into a planet. It started acid raining, and then there was, I think, some radiation. And so I was like, what the heck do I do? Things kept popping up saying my life support is lowering. Radiation protection is starting to lower. All these things, and it's a very modern and futuristic looking game. And so to someone who's never played, it's very intimidating. It's very overwhelming. So I had no idea what was going on. I just walked around trying to learn the controls, figure out what's going on. I died probably 2 times right off the bat just because it was a slow death. But I didn't know I didn't know I needed sodium to protect against radiation. I didn't know that I had to boost my defenses so I don't get killed by the acid rain, things of that nature. So it's one thing to finally realize after the first time I died that, okay, well, this stuff is going to kill me. I need to prepare against it. Knowing that isn't good enough. You then have to figure out the rather confusing interface between upgrading and replenishing some of your multi-tools and exo suits. And so that pretty much cost me my second life trying to figure out how that works. Eventually you get it, though. It's a rather steep learning curve, I'm not going to lie. But once you get it, I think it's pretty cool. It's understandable because of the complexity of the game, how these things work, and why the menus are rather complex. And honestly, I'm about probably 4 or 5 hours in, and I'm still learning things every time I play. And there's still things that I don't understand. Like I went to a space station, bought an upgrade for my ship, and it tells me to install it, but I don't know how to install it. I follow the directions they give me to the best of my ability, but there's an error. It tells me that I can't upgrade it because it's in the wrong inventory slot or something like that. And I've gone to every menu. I've gone to every line. I've moved things. I don't know what it wants. So I'm definitely still learning, but it was, with zero expectations, it's better than what I thought. I could see myself putting hours and hours and hours into this game. And I've talked to people on Twitch. They've put like 200-300 hours into it. So it's one of those dangerous games that, do I have 200 hours to devote to this game? No. Do I want to? In the end game, will I? Quite possibly. So that's what this type of game is, but that is all a good thing.
Yeah, so to speak to your first concern, the lack of tutorials, when I first played the game on PC, there was even less tutorials than there are now, but the game was pretty straightforward in what you were doing. Now, I maybe there was a patch. They've released like 3 patches since the game launched on Tuesday, And I think maybe in between you first playing the game and me first playing the game, they released a patch that might have had a bit more tutorial. I thought it was extremely straightforward playing in VR. Anytime I was confused about what to do, if I looked over to the right-hand side of my screen, then there would be something detailing what the next thing I was supposed to do was. The only time I got stuck was whenever there was a box. So if you play with the Move controllers, we're going to talk about everything as if you're playing with the Move controllers, because you need to play this game with the Move controllers. Otherwise, it's just like you're playing a flat version, but you can look around, which is cool. But it's the Move controls are fantastic. You have this ambidexterity where you can look around and do things with one hand and shoot with the other hand, and you're walking around. It's just phenomenal. But the way you interact and pick up things with the Move controller is you're either holding a gun or you put the gun away, which is awesome, by the way, because you reach over your shoulder and put it back, or you pull it from your shoulder whenever you equip it, and you grab something and you pull your hand, and that's how you interact. And so if you find like a treasure chest type thing, just a box that you're supposed to open, if the gun is in your hand, you can't open it. And so I got stuck for a long time. I didn't know that. And so I was trying to open this really important box to progress my mission, and I couldn't because I had the gun in my hand. So aside from that, that was the only thing that got me stuck. Once I realized the solution, I never got stuck again. I was repairing parts. I was building things. It was fantastic. So there is a lot of reading in the game. Not a lot of reading, but everything is done through reading. You have a full journal in the game that you can go and peruse and find out whatever information you've already learned and kind of get a hint of where you're going to be going next or how systems in the game work. So if you're confused about how something works, you can go in the menus and say, how does weather affect things? How does repairing my spacesuit or repairing my spaceship, how does that work? And you can get a detailed description again of how that works. The menu system is primarily based from your hand. So if you want to look at your menu, like things that are on your ship or things that you have in your backpack, you'll hold up your left hand and you'll point with your right hand and you'll select things on the menu that way. And then if you want to do something with your weapon or quickly recharge something, I think you hold up your right hand and point with your left hand, and you can select your weapon and reload your weapon and things like that. It's really intuitive once you get used to it. The controls are just like Skyrim. There's a lot of flexibility. You can you can adjust smooth turning. You can teleport. The teleportation works great. It's some of the best teleportation in a VR game that I've seen in a long time. I almost didn't want to switch it to smooth locomotion because I was just enjoying the teleportation that they had in the game. Of course, Adam shakes his head, but I really enjoyed it. There's vignetting. The only gripe about the controls that I have is the flight controls take a bit of getting used to, and if you haven't thought about it, you might want to fine-tune the sensitivity. They have a special flight sensitivity option. Turn that down a little bit. You might have a better time with the flight controls. It still needs to get fixed. If they could do something that like Ultra Wings did, where you hold the stick right there and then you do the throttle somewhere else. I don't know exactly how to describe what Ultra Wings did, but Ultra Wings had a beautiful way of flying. This feels real finicky, and I'm not sure exactly what they're going for. I'm sure it's going to get polished. I have immense faith in Hello Games. They've pulled this off to begin with, and they're already sharpening it up. It's just I'm just blown away. And like Adam said, it's a game with like 200 hours of content. I would be happy if no other VR game released, and this is all I got until PSVR 2 came out. This game is just that much for me.
Okay, so as I mentioned, I've already showered love on it, but it's not perfect, okay? So I'm going to bring it back to down to earth because, you're out in PlayPSVR Alex land on another galaxy when really you should be down here on Earth, son, because the first thing, you're right, the flight sucks. It's not just bad, it sucks. It's really finicky. I can't figure out sometimes although my hand is right there at the little joystick, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm not going to go into it. It's not very good. 2, this is the first game. I don't know, man. It's weird. The Move controllers are very cool. At first, I didn't like the controls of those, and I liked the DualShock better. The more I play it with the moves, I'm getting better, and I'm okay with it. The only real advantage I see with the Move controllers is that you are able to run away while shooting animals that are coming after you. In the flat version, or if you just use a DualShock, that is nearly impossible. Technically, it's doable, but you would have to have some real skill to do that. And in VR, there's no way about it. I know you don't care that much, Alex, and personally, I didn't think I cared that much, but after seeing how blurry it is, it was a bit disappointing. as I mentioned, one of my biggest knocks against Skyrim is that I like to feel immersed in the game. And the whole reason about virtual reality is I want to forget for a second that I'm playing a video game. And when the graphics are that poor and they are that grainy, it's hard to forget that you aren't in that world. Like, and in No Man's Sky, I have the same issue. Like, it's so obvious that I'm playing a game. I can't fool, my mind isn't fooled into thinking, okay, I'm actually on that planet. Whereas in Resident Evil 7, there were points in the game where I forgot that I wasn't in the Baker Mansion or whatever it was called. So that to me was disappointing. The more I play it, I'm getting used to it. But when you then go play 2D and you play it in those beautiful graphics that are very detailed, it's a very stark contrast. And one thing I've noticed, and again, I think this isn't a negative. This isn't a negative, but something I did notice is that I want to play this game a lot. Like, I start, I'm like, okay, I'm going to play like an hour. Or the other day I played with VR Grid, that guy is Will, and Solo Vision, and we pretty much, I was playing, Will showed up, and then the other guy showed up. And when they showed up, I was like, I'm ready to be done. I was about ready to log off. Yet, I kept pushing back. I ended up playing for like 3.5 hours. It was like midnight, and I was like, oh, crap. I had no idea. Like, time flies. But when you're playing in VR, it's harder for me to play like a 4-hour session. Whereas if you're playing in a flat version, obviously the graphics are nicer and it's a little easier not being in the headset, you know? Like, I can play for a longer time being out in the open just watching a TV than in the headset. So it's still, I mean, it's very good. I would never come even close to say it's not polished or it's not good. The more I play these type of games, it kind of reminds me of the Persistence, where I love the fact that when you die, it doesn't really hurt you. You lose your items, but you can go back to your grave and pick them up. So really, it doesn't hurt you at all, which I love. I like games that are forgiving in that manner. It makes it more enjoyable for me because I'm not always stressed that I'm going to die or it's a huge deal if I make a mistake and fall off the cliff or an animal eats me or whatever. So, yeah, I very much am enjoying it. No doubt.
So a couple things. So these guys are really good at upgrading the game, obviously. This is one of the more visually impressive games in a flat system. So the fact that they can get something approximating like 80% or 75% fidelity of how gorgeous the game is just in flat mode, that's impressive to me. I played the game on maximum high-end PC specs and found it gorgeous, but I played it months ago. So jumping back in, I don't want to play it flat again. I don't want to break that illusion. I'll admit I have no problem with the graphics. I don't think that they're that blurry. And it almost has me questioning my own eyesight. I'm wondering if maybe I just have bad eyesight and I don't know it, because I was expecting a blurry mess, and the game seemed, a lot sharper than I expected it to be from all the complaining that I heard of. And when these guys inevitably release a pro patch, that's going to help the game out and make it look a lot sharper. I can only imagine if somehow by some magical way that this gets ported to the PlayStation 5 and we can get like a high fidelity version where it looks like the flat version, but in VR, that would be great. And I don't doubt that that's something that they could do because they've ported the game over to PC, and the PC has like a really high quality version. So, Adam, you played multiplayer with some of our homeboys. When I tried to play multiplayer with you, you flew away to another planet immediately, and I couldn't find you. Tell me about the multiplayer. I tried playing with you. I couldn't run into you. Are you running around with people? You can see your friends. Can you shoot them? Is there any what is the benefit of playing in multiplayer?
So what I found is, honestly, it's not super beneficial. So the first time that guy's Will joined my planet, so I was just playing and he showed up. So when you go to the menu, there's play your game or choose a game, and then join a friend or join a game. So once you hit join, when you're at that main menu, you'll see all your friends who are currently playing. At that point, you can then enter into their planet. So for the first time with Will, it worked perfectly. We went, we met, it was awesome. We harvested some carbon, we made a house, and then I tried to talk to an alien and the game crashed. Unfortunately, what that did was destroy our house, and then we were in a little bit of a limbo because he was in a world that now no longer existed. It was a mess. So then once we tried to get everybody to join, it was a little bit of a mess. Thankfully, Will took that on. I stayed on my planet and I did what I do, but it took them a solid at least 20 minutes to join me. So that was a little disappointing. That worked so great the first time, and the second time it was just like for solo, it just never loaded. There were other times where they were on the planet, but we could talk. Actually, no, we were in a party. I didn't even know they were on my planet. They couldn't see me. They couldn't see the house I built, nothing like that. Eventually, we got it to work out. And the issue, I suppose, is when you're all together, they're in a different game. Like, I am in my game. So by progressing and doing these objectives, it's helping me. But for them, it's not really helping them in any way. But it's cool to, like, see each other. So really by people being in your game and talking with them and having fun with them, in a way it slows you down because instead of doing objectives and building things and progressing in the game, now I'm trying to shoot VR Grid just enough so he doesn't die, but hiding the fact that I'm doing it. And he's like, "Ooh, who's hitting me? I've been hitting you the whole time, fool." He's sitting there asking who's killing him. I'm killing him. He thought it was animals. Like, freaking goober, you're an idiot. It was me the whole time, man. And then but I mean, it really is cool to be able to see each other, and obviously in a planet like that, it's tons of fun. You can kill each other if you want. It's a pretty big D-bag move, but you can do it. Or you could go and you could harvest copper or shoot animals or anything together. So I need to put on Twitter, we built a bro mansion, and it's a 3-story house. Solo, Will, and I both have a floor. VR Grid's just gonna sleep in one of our beds. He's gonna pick. It has a teleporter. It has a research station. It's real cool, dude. We got flags up top. It is legit. So I mean, that's pretty baller. You know what, Alex? We need to name our planets. That way, when people come visit, then they know what planet to go to. But that's how the multiplayer, when everyone joins, I mean, it works perfectly. You're able to interact, and it really is fun. It's a great way to, I mean, I burned probably an hour with those guys easy, and I enjoyed every second of it. So it works well.
I think there's something like I can make a character that exists in your version of the universe. So when I first started up the game and joined your game, it asked me if I wanted to use one of my saved characters or if I wanted to make it a special saved character for you and playing with you. So I need to boot up and see if I can start that and find this bro mansion. If so, that would be nice. It means like we basically have like a shared save state, which would be really, really cool that you and I could be building stuff even though we're not necessarily playing together and we're affecting the world together, just, you know, at separate times.
Yeah.
The thing is, whatever it's, these guys have such a strong track record now. It's like whatever you would want this game to be, they're probably working on it. They're probably going to deliver on it. I'm really just blown away at the quality of the game and how they've pulled it off. They're not a huge team. I'm just thinking, what are they going to do next? Maybe we're going to get aim support or something like that. Maybe you're going to be able to, you know, have the flight stick in your lap, and then whenever you're going to fly, you just jump on over and use the flight stick. Something crazy like that. The game works so well. Adam, what is the coolest thing that you have found or that has happened to you in the game so far?
Dude, I'm telling you, I know I just kind of complained that playing multiplayer didn't really help. It just kind of wastes time and you just have fun. But building that house, I thought was pretty sweet. The fact that people could just join the planet that I'm on, coming from only God knows where else, and then we could build a house together, interact. I just think that's really cool. I mean, it is just neat. It's something that you can't do in any other PSVR game. And I just think it embodies what No Man's Sky probably really is about. And then the social aspect of it, I think, can just be so clutch. So that was probably my favorite aspect thus far.
Okay. Yes, you've had a lot more time with the game than I have, and I'm envious of that. My favorite thing so far was of course, flying was amazing, but then I flew and I found like a neighborhood of like, boxes or some kind of station on a planet that I didn't even know existed. And I landed on the planet and I walked in and it was like a market in there. And I can go in and I'm talking to all these aliens and I can buy parts and I can buy guns. I found an assault rifle, but it cost like $1 billion and I only have like $1 million. So I got to figure out how to get some money so that I can carry an assault rifle. I didn't know there were that many types of weapons in the game. So that's awesome. There was like a stock market in there. So you could sell different materials and items that you would just normally accumulate, and they have different prices every day, and you can see how the value's gone up or down. So maybe that's how I'll make my money. I don't know, buy low, sell high, something like that. It's just, this game has so many complex mechanics and systems in it, and they just work way better than you would expect them to. Adam, there's like space combat. So at some point, you and I could each have our own spaceship, and we could be flying around the planet trying to shoot each other down. That blows my mind. You can buy your own like space frigate and have it just hanging out in space, and your friends can come and land on it and go walk around in it. That's insane. So I just can't believe it. I can't believe that it is as good as it is. I can't believe that it actually happened. No Man's Sky, man. It makes me so happy. Have you invested at all in the actual story of the game? Do you know what's going on in the game at all?
I mean, I'm pretty much doing everything it tells me. There hasn't really been much plot yet, to be honest.
So it's kind of a subtle trickle of information that they give you. From what I gather, you appear in this universe, or you land on this planet, and you get little bits of information trying to follow like a trail of somebody who's gone before you. And your goal is apparently to get to the center of the universe. So that's why you're building things. That's why you're getting materials and stuff like that. It's because you're trying to build a spaceship so that you can work your way toward the center of the universe. Adam, I do have one question for you, and you were frustrated about this, but you haven't mentioned it yet. You ran out of fuel when you first played the game, and you had such a hard time finding more fuel. Did you figure out how to find more fuel and add it to your ship?
I did, yeah. And it's one of those things that you just like. You don't know. And maybe
tell the listeners, how do you do it? Yeah.
So first of all, you don't run out of fuel. You never run out of fuel. So when I got into space and I was going, I forgot what they call it, hyperspeed or whatever.
Okay, like the thrusters, the boosters or something, yeah.
That was running out of fuel. So I could have run out of fuel and I would have continued going, but I would have gone slowly. And then you come across asteroid belts in which you shoot the asteroid belts. That gives you pyrite. That gives you, I think it's pyrite and tritium, I think. Yeah. And then from that point, you can reboost or recharge those and then go fast again. So I never ran out. There is no fuel. You can't run out of it. So just different components like your photon cannon or your boosters, something of that can. But that is somewhat secondary. Those are like niceties that, okay, it's not going to take you half an hour to get to the next planet. So
that is one thing I want to mention, that it's so simple and it's so small and it doesn't matter. And if it wasn't there, it wouldn't hurt the game, but it is there and it just feels amazing every time I do it. The way you get out of your spaceship is you look over to the side and you grab the handle to the cockpit and you lift it up, and that's how you get out of the spaceship. It's so interactive. It's so cool and it works so well. It's just mind-blowing. It's the most VR game. I don't know, man. I'm losing my mind over how much I love this game. Adam, is it a buy, wait for a sale, or avoid forever?
Yeah, you got to buy it.
You got to buy it. You got to buy it.
You got to buy it. Unless you win it, which stay tuned until next segment and you'll figure out maybe you won it. Okay, so before we go to the next segment, I want to take an opportunity. I know several episodes past, I mentioned that the tensioner in my headset broke. And so if you're unfamiliar, the tensioner are the little black straps that are on the sides of your head on the headset, and they essentially mush the headset so it forms your head so that when you move your head side to side or up and down, then it stays in place. It applies that pressure. Well, those broke, And so I discussed on, okay, now the headset moves and it's uncomfortable, all that stuff. So I want to give a shout out to Grim Gnarly because on Twitter, they told me about this company, Studioform Creative VR, and there's a head strap that they provide for purchase. And so I contacted them. I got one of these head straps. So again, it's the Studioform Creative VR PSVR Deluxe head strap. So I want to give a little review of this because if you remember, I was in the conundrum of, do I buy a whole new headset or what do I do? I obviously didn't want to drop a bunch of money on a new headset, knowing that PSVR 2 hopefully at some point is coming in not too long. So the head strap itself, and for those of you who are watching either stream or YouTube, I'm actually unboxing this now, and we may give a couple out because the person was very generous, sent me a few of them to test. So the head strap is very durable. It's thick. It's long. It's made of good material that not only will last a long time, but like you could tell its quality. It's definitely not gonna like decompose or break on you. It's not going to rip. It really feels like I'm gonna be able to put a lot of damage in this bad boy before it shows any wear or tear. And it feels good too, which I know it's going to top your head, so it's like on top of your hair and things, but it is very soft. It feels good. So the way this works is you can take the tensioners off. They give you some very direct and concise constructions. Essentially, you take the black padding out of the headset, and then there's just a screwdriver you can unscrew, take the tensioners off, and then use this headset, or head strap. So for me, I still had one tensioner that was available, and it did provide some support. So I actually just kept those in there, and I put this strap on as intended. I just didn't take the tensioners off, and it works perfectly fine. So you can make that decision for yourself. But essentially what happens is on the side of the headset, you wrap this material around. And for those of you who are possibly interested, I'm going to be doing a YouTube video demonstrating this so you can see it more clearly and give maybe a little bit more thorough of a review as well. But the material wraps around the sides of the headset. So essentially you have the strap that sits on top of your head. So instead of having to apply pressure on the sides and the lateral parts of your head to keep it on there, this strap is now going over the top of your head, which the headset doesn't have anything that goes on top of your head. That keeps it there. And so you can adjust it because it's just one long piece of material with some Velcro. So you can adjust the head strap in its relation and position to the headset itself to determine, like, okay, my head is maybe a little smaller, so I don't need the head strap to be too much higher than the headset. You can just adjust it so it's most comfortable for you. For me, there's a lot of degree of freedom. So if you have a really big head or if you have a small head, this strap is going to work for you. And I was able to make it pretty snug and comfortable. And honestly, horizontally, it fits better. And so the best way to explain that is that when I have this head strap on, the PSVR isn't moving up and down whatsoever. So with this head strap, it's actually even more secure in terms of the headset moving up and down than if I didn't use it and I had my head strap with the tensioners on. So did a great job there. However, laterally, there's still some movement, certainly with the headset. And that I don't think is necessarily a disadvantage of this product because it is having a strap go from the top of your head to the bottom. There's nothing going across your face to prevent lateral movement. There's no way even to do that. So that's not what the strap is necessarily trying to avoid. It helps, but it's still very noticeable if you turn your head side to side very quickly at all. Even like an Astrobot, I noticed that just the headset moves. And that's going to be part of, okay, you're still using a broken headset. That's the way it is. It's not perfect. But again, this isn't supposed to replace the headset. It's supposed to aid and kind of push purchasing a new headset a little bit into the future, and or just an accessory to help make it even more comfortable. So that's one thing. Lateral movement won't help too much. I also have the Rigs for VR headset. Like, it provides 3D audio, so I literally mean like a sound headset. And with this strap, it's fairly difficult to use the Rigs for VR. I really have to push it down to encompass my ears, and it's a little harder. So that, depending, and that's obviously headset specific. Like, if you don't use Rigs for VR, I know a lot of people use the Mantis, it may be completely different. So that is solely depending on your headset, but something also to consider. And I think with the Rig for VR and the headset and the head strap, it's maybe a little heavy and it's a little tight for long. I'm talking about like 4-hour play sessions. So another couple things I want to mention is, one, I really tested this out. I've had this for probably a month and a half, 2 months, and I've played all the games in it. One thing I really wanted to test is how did it make you feel when you're playing an active game. And so playing Beat Saber, if I play 3 songs of Beat Saber without the head strap, I'm going to sweat. If I play 3 games with the head strap, I'm going to sweat. So I really don't think, and I have not noticed, even in the heat of summer, that this has really added any additional heat or discomfort in terms of sweating or heat while playing. So that's obviously very good, because it was one of my primary concerns with this. So overall, I really like the head strap. It has definitely prevented me from purchasing another headset. So that's a huge winner, because that is at least $130 down the drain to get a new headset that hopefully in a year I'm going to have to replace. So if your headset is a little broken now, or if it breaks in the future, this is definitely a much better option than actually purchasing a new headset when you know another new one is coming out and you know that you want it. So it definitely has done a fantastic job. I would be lying if I said that the headset was good as new with the addition of this strap. Again, there's still lateral movement. There is obviously an additional piece to the headset. It's not good as new, but it definitely is going to prevent me, as I mentioned, from purchasing another one. I am very glad that we got to test this product and to review it. I'm going to continue using it until the PSVR 2 comes out, and then probably purchase that and maybe use this as a periphery to make it more comfortable if needed. So again, it's the Studioform Creative VR. Maybe we'll put the URL for this product inside the description of this podcast. Also, if you go to their website and you use PSVR promo, you get an additional 5% off. And they also have straps for all of the other VR headsets, HTC, Oculus, and so they have a wide range of products as well. Obviously, I only wanted PSVR ones, but that's my official review. And it sounds like, Alex, you now possibly need one of these, right?
Yeah, so anytime I play games for a long time, VR games for a long time, I get headaches. It feels like it's like the gentle squeeze on my skull of the headset, of the tensioners, will slowly give me a headache. I've experienced it with Borderlands. I experienced it with No Man's Sky here recently. And it's like not painful enough to where I want to stop playing, but I just can't be comfortable and it gets distracting. And I've heard that this is something that can help out with that. So my question to you is, Adam, can I just turn the tensioners completely off, like not use them, and then use this instead? And that gets me, most of the way there?
Yeah, absolutely. So what that would do is that, again, so the tensioners are applying pressure from the back of your head to your forehead and kind of pushing in so
Right.
it sticks to your head. But this now is just going to drape over the top of your head, and it's going to keep it there. Now you can adjust it to make it pretty snug, but there is no pressure at all that this strap is putting on your head to keep it there. So that issue you're having very well, I'm almost certain, alleviate that. And I know the pain that you're talking about because I used to get it. And since using this, I have not gotten it. But then again, it is a trade-off that if you play a more active game, you're going to have some more movement. So it's definitely a trade-off. But for you, it may be the best of both worlds because I don't have an option to be able to choose one or the other. You do because your tensioners still work.
Yeah, I'm a very lazy person, so I'm not going to play an active game too much.
Okay, well, that's fair. But at least I suppose you have the option. And they do have instructions on what to do exactly to take the tensioners off. They even give you a little bag to put all the pieces in case you want to actually put it back together. So
to put all your drugs in when you sell them, Adam. Is that what that is?
Oh, you got it.
My other question is, it's already a hassle. Me being just a lazy old man, it's already a hassle getting like the Move controllers out and getting the VR headset and then plugging it in and then turning on the TV and then yelling at my kid to get out of the room. Don't watch me when I do this. And then is this just another thing that I'm going to have to add on to the VR headset, or can I like attach it and then leave it there and not have to fiddle with it every single time I want to play VR?
Oh yeah, no, you attach it, and I haven't taken it off since I adjusted it.
Oh, take it off, Adam.
No way. No
Come on,
way.
Man, take it off.
I know you want me
I want to see you take it off, man.
I know you want me to. So in the beginning, it took me a little while, a couple plays to figure out where I really like it. But yeah, once you have it set, I've never taken it off. And I don't think, especially for me who needs it, there's no reason to take it off. It's not that bulky. I have the headstand for the headset. It still fits that. It doesn't add considerable weight. It works very well. So the only issue, as I mentioned, the rigs for VR is going to be a little tough to wear. And then there's still a little bit of lateral movement. But those are literally the only negative things, even if you would consider those negatives about the strap that I have.
I think I'm sold, Adam. Did you say how much they were?
I'm going to look. I have a price in mind, but I want to double check here because I would hate to say something and then it not be right.
Okay, while you look that up, I'm just going to say a couple things. Hey, guys, my name's Alex from PlayPSVR, the podcast. Adam's distracting himself right now. I'm going to run a little advertisement here for you. Today's advertisement is for haircuts. I just got a haircut. It's been about a year since I last cut my hair. You're probably seeing that on the video if you're watching the video. So I hope you like my new haircut. I like it. I feel younger, and it doesn't get in my face, and I sweat less when I play VR. Adam, do you have a price for us?
$19.95.
All right. That's very doable.
And use that promo, and you get PSVR promo, all caps, then you get additional 5% off. I got it very quickly. It actually comes from New Zealand. The packaging is beautiful. It's good stuff. If you are looking for a head strap, I don't know what could be much better. So I would very much recommend using this head strap.
$20 is a good price, but Adam, my question is, does he accept Monkey King codes as forms of payment? I could send him 3 Monkey King codes instead of $20. Do you think that would work?
I don't know why he wouldn't.
Yeah.
If he's a VR fan, he would.
Yeah. It's, scarcity is the essence of value, and Monkey King codes are running out very quickly. So, get them while you can. They're going to be worth a lot one of these days. As long as you don't trade, as long as you don't redeem the code, of course. All right. That is it for segment 1, our primary discussion of No Man's Sky. Listen, I could talk about it all freaking day. Guys, just give me a call. Ring me up. Let's talk about No Man's Sky. Even if I'm not going to play it, if I haven't played it in a while, I want to talk about it. I'm so excited about it. This is great. So, leave us comments or send us tweets or something about it, because I just want to know what's going on. If you do something cool, I want to know about it. I want to go out and do it too. So, yeah, thanks for the review on the what's it called again? The head strap?
The Studioform Creative VR PSVR headset.
I feel like you just kind of made that up, but with all the right words.
Right.
Studioform Creative PSVR Deluxe Head Strap. Thank you for the review, Adam. Listeners, thank you for abiding us, and we will see you after the break for segment 2 with some news and the winners of our No Man's Sky Sexy Alien Contest random drawing giveaway. See you after the break.
this is the second and last segment of Play PSVR the podcast, episode 73. So this is probably going to be my favorite segment solely because, Alex, you and I are going to cover all of the contestants for the No Man's Sky Sexy Alien competition. So you already kind of mentioned all of the entrants, is that even a word? All the entries essentially were way above what you were expecting to see in terms of quality and creative. So, I mean, how wonderful was this to see all this artwork? There were some entries that blew my nips off.
So, I mean, even though I can see the statistics of how many people listen to the podcast, more or less, I'm always surprised when we get any kind of interactivity because it's like, oh, they really do listen. They're not just like playing this in the background while they take a dump. So when people actually send us pictures, I'm so excited. I wish I had 100 copies of this game to give out. But we're just going to go through and we're going to share on the video. You can see the pictures. We're going to share some of our favorite images. We're going to try to get to all of them. If we miss one of your images, I'm sorry. Let us know if you really want it to be shared. Maybe we'll hit it up next podcast. Right off the bat, Adam, this is from our buddy Straub42. He says, this is Valtak Thomas. He is essentially the Jerry O'Connell of the planet Opticali Pajameter. So let me just share my screen here 1 second.
So who is Jerry O'Connell?
I'm not going to lie. I don't think I know. Let me see if I can Google it too. All right, can you see?
I can't see it. It looks nice. Looks like three eyeballs with red pupils and kind of some stringy hair.
That's Jerry O'Connell.
I don't know if I get it, but I'm going to go with it. It's cool. We appreciate it. This, I think, was our first entry, so it's very near and dear to my heart. And it really does kind of look like something that you could see on some of these space planets.
It looks like Jerry O'Connell. I think I get it. I understand it. It makes sense to me.
Okay. Perfect. Next entry. Who we got?
This is from our homeboy mellifluously, something like that. They had a little mishap with the link, but we got it to work, man. He says, here's my entry. For a bad artist, I think my artistic skills is good. Enjoy. So let me see. Let me share here again.
This one I remember. Yeah, this one was pretty good too. I enjoyed this. I did have to post the link separately. But yeah, it kind of looks like a squid thing.
It says,
maybe an octopus.
When is the next podcast, Stewie? And it looks like there's two. The one on the bottom is named Stewie, and the one on the top is named Yewets, which I guess is Stewie backwards. Looks great for an alien life form. I like that he named it Stewie because it reminds me of you, Adam. You're like my own personal Stewie with your football-shaped head.
Yeah, I like that. And I look just like this, I think. And, yeah, the colors is done real well. I like the purple. It definitely took a little bit of extra thinking to pretty much say when's the next podcast, and then you see some of the blue. They mix colors in very well. Saber VR actually recently just asked us if we wanted to provide a color scheme and a name for a new, I guess, I don't know what do you call it.
Skin. A new skin.
Skin, thank you, for a new skin for Saber VR. And this is one that I'm going to consider because these colors go very well together. So
this purple with this red and some of that blue, yeah, I like it. Or maybe black and blue. Yeah. All right. I dig it.
Pretty much. I enjoyed that. That's very nice.
I got to figure out how the internet works so I can do this more seamlessly. All right.
It's some movie reference or something. Didn't someone say, that's very nice?
You're trying to do Borat, I think, is what's happening.
No, that's very nice. That's Borat.
Okay. So this next one comes from our homeboy, Delfo Limpo. I think this is one of the first ones I saw. And it was, that's what let me realize that people weren't playing around, man. I love what they did here. I wasn't expecting this. And I don't think we deserve this. It's so good. Can you see it, Adam?
I do. And here's the thing that blows my mind, that this person took the time to go to YouTube, found a stream where we were both there with our faces, cut it out, took a screenshot, cut it out, went to find a couple No Man's Sky type astronauts, put our face in it with PlayPSVR, with the Sony foreground. I mean, it's very well done. You are a Photoshop master, and I enjoyed this. This is pretty good, and it looks pretty good. It looks good.
So the thing that has me confused is it looks like I'm shorter than you. I'm not shorter than you, Adam. I'm not second fiddle to you.
Well, maybe not in body height or length.
What length then, huh, Adam? Is this a penis joke? We don't have time for that, Adam.
What is the next entry? But this is fantastic. Thank you very much for the entry. That's great.
Thank you very much. All right, moving it along. What do I have here? This one. Oh, this is from our homeboy. That guy is Will. He said he didn't want to enter, but he wanted to provide a picture for us. So here we go.
Oh yeah.
I love this. It's Will has drawn. He's drawn a picture of, I guess that's Adam. It might be Dwight from The Office, setting fire.
F you.
Setting fire to 18 floors. It's not maybe Will thinks you're the sexiest alien out there. I don't know, but this is hilarious. I love that. Given the chance to draw the wildest thing he can come up with, he drew a picture of you taking a match to 18 floors. It's just glorious.
And if there's anything I could do in virtual reality, it would be that. Actually, no. That if I could do anything in real life, it would be burn every copy of 18 Floors, because that is an abominable game, a piece of trash. I wouldn't even paper cut my butthole with it. It's so oh, it's bad. But it's pretty good drawing. Fairly, I think that's pretty good. Looks like me. I remember wearing that shirt with that tie. Well done, Will. Thank you very much. You won't win No Man's Sky. And unfortunately, Monkey King codes are too valuable for you to win, too. So maybe next time, buddy.
Sorry about the paper cut on Adam's butthole, too. However gross that is. Do you think you could handle that? Like, I don't know how I would recover from a paper cut on my butthole. Anyways, up next we have from our homeboy XY-AX6. This
sounds like an alien, really.
Sounds like an alien, looks like an alien. This is a great creative picture. What I'm wondering is, it looks like we have two different sets of eyes. I guess maybe one sees things visually and one sees things spiritually. I don't know. It's a really, wow, okay, this is a really high-res picture right here. Let me zoom out again.
Look at this, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. It kind of looks like a dog. It's cool. It definitely looks like something that could be found at a space station. And he obviously, or this person, I don't know if it's he, this person put a fair amount of time into this. It looks very good. They're very artistic. Like, there is no amateur. It's obvious an amateur did not do this. Like, all the lines are very crisp. The colors are vibrant, look good. It's a high-res picture. I mean, very well done. Thank you very much. That's pretty sweet.
I would buy a stuffed animal of that. But that's because I would buy anything related to PlayPSVR. But I would buy a stuffed animal of that. Adam, how much money would you be willing to throw at our homeboy XY-AX6 or homegirl, I don't know, XY-AX6 to get this made into a stuffed animal? $100? $200? Adam, you're willing to pay $300 to make a stuffed animal out of this?
$350.
$350. Okay, so XY-AX6, contact us. Adam's going to PayPal you $350 because we want to hug this creature in a stuffed animal form.
I would cuddle it.
There's not much that you wouldn't cuddle, Adam. All right, here we go. Now we're getting into it. These disgusting people sending us these pictures. Who do they think they are? This is from Naruga418. Naruga418 has sent us this picture. It's disgusting. I can't show this to my family. I can't show this to my podcast viewers. They say I spent way too much time on this, but I wanted to draw it in dreams using Move controllers since it's a game that'll be on PSVR at some point in time. I've already got the first 3 episodes of your podcast on iTunes, by the way. I just need to make time to listen to it. Anyway, here is erecting the flag. And all right, come on now. That is somebody's butt.
Baby got back.
Baby got back.
Baby got back.
You know what this picture makes me want to say? It makes me want to say, USA, USA. I would pledge my allegiance to that ass is what I would do, man. Look at that.
So if you are listening to the podcast, essentially we have an alien here. It looks like to be maybe on the moon. There is a U.S. flag in the soil, and then there is an alien who essentially their butt cheeks are around the flagpole that the American flag is held in. In the background, we have the space with all the stars, and then we have the planet Earth. And I mean, that flagpole is really wedged between those. I mean, it is in there. I mean, a stripper would be impressed. So
this begs the question, Adam. Either it's extremely, extremely disrespectful to like do a stripper pole dance, a pole dance on an American flagpole, or it's extremely, extremely patriotic to do a pole dance on an American flagpole. Which way are you leaning here?
This is all American play PSVR. That's what this is.
All American play PSVR, erecting the flag. Oh,
love it.
Just great stuff there, Naruga 418. What do we have? I think this is our last one here that I have ready.
We got one more. Shay Neer from Twitter, because you're looking at the Reddit, and he couldn't get the Reddit images to work. I don't know how clear this is going to be, because I'm going to just put my phone up to the camera. But there is a alien that they drew. Very sexy. Very nice. Now that's Borat. And again, looks like something that you could definitely see on No Man's Sky. Looks very good. I appreciate the time. Shay Neer is definitely someone who I have seen on No Man's Sky. He has helped me out big time, given me advice and things. So I already know you have the game. So I appreciate the fact that you went ahead and supported us anyhow. You provided a nice picture. You're the best. I literally probably would not be even remotely close to where I am in the game if it weren't for you. So Shay Neer for the win.
Thank you, Shay Neer, for making it so that Adam can enjoy video games, because without somebody holding his hand, he's going to hate every single game he plays. If only we could have you here to play 18 floors with him. All right, our last one then is from our good friend Matty Matt. This is, man, he just says, she's a real looker, and you click the link and you get to meet eyes with this creature.
Oh, this is yeah, I don't even know what to say. I am flabbergasted. Let's
just zoom in and just take it all in from the top. So right off the bat, for those not watching, we have is this a woman? It's an alien with long hair, long womanish hair, almost like a mermaid, but with
Fabio.
But with the teeth of Baraka from Mortal Kombat, talking about them sharp teeth, almost like a piranha, wearing a PSVR headset. So we can't see the full sexiness of this person. I think this is a hand-drawn image, which blows me away even more.
Yeah.
As you scroll down, you get treated with the real treat of the image.
Oh, yeah.
You get excited about breasts. You think you're going to see. You're going to see a something. Turns out, bam, right in your face. Adam's face and my face. Look at that. Look at the soul.
We are the breasts.
we are
the breasts.
Our heads are the breasts on this PSVR alien mermaid creature. And what I love is we both have our headphones in, and our headphones are going down into the bikini bottom, because this creature is wearing a bikini bottom.
Oh, yeah. But the top is off. She's holding the top in her hand.
She's holding the top in her hand. She took her top off to let us breathe, give us some fresh air. Let us breathe,
guys.
Adam, what do you think we're listening to? Are we listening to the same thing here in this what is it plugged into?
I think that's a vagina full of Play PSVR episodes.
This is where our episodes come from. This creature gives birth to them.
Yeah. We're inside and we are birthed every week. And then we suckle on our own heads that are breasts for the milk.
It's like we kiss ourselves to get the milk, yeah. So here's a weird, really uninteresting, but attention to detail this person included. You have both of your wires coming out from each ear going in. I just have the one wire because I use my rigs for VR. The attention to detail is extremely impressive.
That is good. Holy crap.
They also really, I love the way he captured your double chin here. That's impressive. I thought nobody else would catch on it.
Because he's been so detailed, he thinks I have a double chin.
Adam's going to be sucking in his neck for the rest of the episode. All right. As you scroll down past the bikini bottom, things get a little weird and wild as legs quickly turn into tentacles, which gets Adam going. Now, these are tentacles that there's like suction cups on these tentacles, and I can't tell if it's hairy or what's going on here. It almost just looks like hairy, bloody sores, but it also looks like suction cups.
It's suction cups, dude. It's suction cups.
What is it holding on to? It also kind of looks like dehydrated pickles too.
The thing is, it could suction on anything.
It could grab. Maybe that's how our heads got there. Is it pulled our heads off with the suction cups, put them on the breasts for modesty purposes.
Could be. Dude, I love this. Obviously, a lot of thought. You knew we were perverts, apparently. And so you just went, went for it. And, sometimes you just take a swing and you hope for the best. And what you did is you swung and you hit a grand slam. You hit a walk-off grand slam. We love it. I want a shirt of this.
So, here's the thing is we posted this, and less than 24 hours this picture got posted. Makes me think maybe Matt had this just on retainer. Like he had already drawn it. It was ready to go. he had already made it. He was like, well, I guess I'll post it and try to win the competition. It's just so much. It's so much.
What are you thinking about late at night, Matt?
Whatever it is, I guess I'm going to be thinking about it too in my nightmares. Oh man.
Or Little Star.
Yeah, give me a Little Star version of that. When we get on PSVR 2, maybe we'll have our PlayPSVR the game finally come out, and that's what you're going to come face to face with.
Ooh, that would be beautiful.
Oh my goodness. Adam, do you want to let the listeners know who our winners are?
Okay, so we did random drawings, and here's the thing. First, the winners are Naruga418 and Matt, which I think honestly is kind of, I don't even know what serendipitous means, but I'm going to use it, and I'm going to use it well, because I think Matt's picture may be my favorite. He ended up winning. However, I'm almost certain this man, unless there's another Matt on Twitter, or Twitch rather, I'm pretty sure you already have the game. So if these people do have the game already, we have some other winners that are 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and we'll just keep going down the line till we give these games out. We know most people probably already have No Man's Sky, so if they have it, you may be hearing from us, so don't get too depressed. But if you don't, you too just won yourself a free No Man's Sky, and we hope to see it in the skies very soon.
Oh, it's so great. I feel so glorious and wonderful right now. Anyways, let's move on to some news. Keep this high riding high. First off, with some news out of nowhere, Survios hits us up with the Electronauts Heatwave update. This is a free update with over 35 new songs from people like Adam. Did you catch who was in it? Childish Gambino.
Childish Gambino, baby, and Kygo. And Yoshikimi Nomura or something like that.
There you go. Adam makes it a little bit racist. Yeah, so we have...
What? That's not racist at all, you butthole.
For those who have Electronauts, you know how great it is to have this. It's already an impressively large collection of music that you get to play around with and remix and toy around with. Now they've added 35 new songs out of nowhere. This is ridiculous. It's one of the biggest bangs for your buck you can get on the PSVR, this Electronaut stuff. It's just fantastic. I love it. Out of nowhere, they hit us up with that. Thank you so much, Survios. We love you too. And thank you. Up next, Trover Saves the Universe has a weird update called Jopo Saves the Universe. And all of the news around it is kind of just like, yeah, you know who Jopo is, right? Yeah, you remember Jopo. Jopo Saves the Universe. He's the star of the game. Jopo Saves the Universe. I think it's like a limited time update where you just can play through Trover Saves the Universe, but you play through it as Jopo. Hilarious, right in line with the entire, sense of humor that Trover Saves the Universe has. And of course, it's not like you need a reason to play the game, but here's another reason to go back and play through it again, play through it more. I love this game so much, and I love that they're just doing weird ass stuff like this. It's perfect. Just chef's kiss. Perfect. Up next, LA Noire is getting the VR version is coming to the PSVR. So, Adam, do you know anything about this game?
Sounds like something that who's that one whore from Baywatch?
Nothing.
Pamela Anderson. Seems like something she would be in. Nothing
to do with that. Absolutely as far off base as you could possibly be. So this is a game set in like the 60s or something like that. It's, Mad Men era type stuff. But you're like a police officer or an investigator, and you're trying to solve crimes. And the game came out in flat mode on like PS3, and it was made by the people who made Grand Theft Auto. The whole point of the game was you're investigating crime scenes, and you're supposed to, based off looking at people's faces, be able to determine if they're telling the truth or if they're lying, and investigating and stuff like that. And then you go on like a chase and you like shoot people and whatnot. But the VR version focuses more on that like face-to-face interaction, I think. So it's not like a full free open world game. But I heard that it came out on the PCVR. I was disappointed that we weren't going to get it on PSVR, and lo and behold, it's coming to PSVR. So thank goodness. Let's hope we can get some other more PCVR exclusives coming over here as well. With No Man's Sky coming out, I really have no idea why anything can't be released on the PSVR. So LA Noire VR, it has been announced. It'll be coming out here soon in a little bit, I'd imagine. I'm just excited to hear about it. Moving on, we have the drop. The drop hit late today, but we're going to cover it just a little bit. Up first, we have Afterlife. Adam, do you want to read the description, or you want me to?
Loss always leaves an invisible trace. After a tragic death, explore each family member's grief through seamlessly interactive storylines in live-action virtual reality. Using a cutting-edge VR filming technique, Afterlife takes you through a 360-degree VR branching narrative that reveals a story that shifts based on the characters and objects you interact with. You shouldn't end a sentence with, okay. Regardless, this actually seems like it could be fairly, pretty good. The only real issue is the fact that I've seen this be done. Invisible Hours was awesome, but please don't make it look like complete googly gook. I was thinking Invisible Hours looked like alphabet soup on acid. Make the graphics decent. Although I don't know, this game could be sad. If it's just a bunch of people grieving, that's not gonna be super fun.
So I got on what store was it? Maybe the European store. I downloaded some demos, and one of them was this weird grainy 360-degree Russian video where you are in somebody's body and you die, and you get to feel like what it's like to die, but really it's like watching a low quality YouTube video. And reading this description makes me think it's that, and it's not really super impressive, and I'm kind of nervous about it, But since it's been put on the drop, it makes me think that the interactivity they're talking about might be something more real, something more game-like. So I'll withhold judgment. I don't have the highest anticipation for this. But what I do have a decent amount of anticipation for is Tokyo Chronos. So I'm going to read this, Adam, because you have no idea anything about this game. Tokyo Chronos is a VR mystery visual novel told in an immersive 360-degree world. There's a theme today on the drop. Characters with personality come to life right before your eyes. Their fate lies in your hands. An empty, deserted Shibuya where time has frozen over. A suspenseful mystery woven by 8 childhood friends trapped inside. Lost memories. Where does the truth lie with? You're not supposed to end a sentence.
You should end it with a preposition. That's how it is. It's Shibuya, 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 you lose. Shibuya.
Adam's dropping grammar advice to the developers. Oh, that might be my favorite thing that you've done on the podcast, Adam. Thank you.
Well, that's stupid.
So this is like
this game sounds less interesting than the other one.
So the reason I'm excited about this game is lately, visual novels being released in Japan have had very good success. They've apparently been very high quality. I'm thinking of Steins Gate or Danganronpa, if you're not familiar with those, but the listeners might be. And this game was like a crowd-funded game. It's got a lot of hype behind it as a visual novel, and I'm interested to see how they make it come to life in VR. I'd be down with just playing a visual novel if the story is good. It's probably going to have some really heavy anime vibes. I feel like the characters are going to be like anime characters, maybe like flat people in front of you, but they're like around you or something. I can get down with it if it's done right. Yeah, I'm very interested in this. Adam, have you ever played a visual novel?
I mean, I guess it depends on what you consider a visual novel. Is Invisible Hours a visual novel?
No, Invisible Hours is not at all a visual novel. Invisible Hours is groundbreaking, a masterpiece wherein storytelling is the gameplay. gameplay and storytelling are intertwined, and the game is truly timeless. This is something where it's almost like you're just reading conversations and subtitles, and there's not much choice to be had. There's not much going on. You're really just clicking through the story, and it's going to be a long story.
Okay, I would rather read a freaking book, and that's bad.
Well, I mean, considering the game is literally called a novel, it's not much different than reading a book, Adam.
Well, that's stupid. Where are the sales? I'm ready. Let's do this.
Well, that's stupid. Developers, if you're listening, send me the code. Don't send one to Adam. Adam has no appreciation, and I love you for what you do. All right, Adam, we're going to hit the sales up. I think we have a lot of repeats, so let's move quickly on this. Wipeout Omega Collection for free.
Yes.
Carnival Games VR for $4.99.
No.
Tekken 7, $14.99.
No.
Static, $5.99.
Yes.
VR Worlds for $4.49.
Yes.
Mervils, a VR adventure, $5.99.
No.
Eagle Flight, $6.59.
No.
Star Trek Bridge Crew, $13.19.
No.
Werewolves for $6.59.
Nope.
Time Machine VR, $10.49.
Get out of here.
Arizona Sunshine, $13.99.
You should if you don't have it.
Riggs, $6.99.
Oof. Oof. Oh. Oh. I'm still going to say no. Sorry, guys. I really struggled. I mean, I'm on the fence. If you got it, I wouldn't make fun of you.
Here They Lie for $6.99.
Yes.
Thumper, $7.99.
Yes.
Raw Data, $15.99.
No.
Is it data or data?
Well, the proper English grammar and enunciation is data.
Data. Yeah, vowel, consonant, vowel, right? Data. Okay, I'm with you. Transference, $9.99.
Oof, this one percolates me. I like the demo.
Just do it. Just do it. Finally pull the trigger for once in your life, Adam. Live, man, live.
I've got 200 hours to play of No Man's Sky.
That's true. That's true. So yes or no?
Next one.
Yes or no? Transference, $9.99.
Oh. Gosh. I hate this. Oh.
You're just not going to say, okay, I'm going to say yes. Tumble VR for $3.99.
No.
Infinite Mini Golf, $5.99.
No.
Farpoint, $9.99.
Yes.
Bound, $9.99.
No.
Exorcist, Legion VR, $3.49.
No, unless it's the whole thing, which I know it's not.
No Man's Sky for $24.99.
Yeah.
Drive Club VR for $7.49.
That's not too bad for a racing game, but you have Wipeout.
Yeah, Wipeout and Dirt Rally, and you're covered. Borderlands 2 VR for $24.99.
You're going to say yes, I'm going to say no.
Prison Boss VR for $9.99.
No.
Electronauts with this new bundle that just came out for $9.99. Yes.
Yeah, that is some wicked. Like 35 songs is very much a game that they've added for free in this patch. Yeah, you should have this game.
Keep in mind, it's not like Beat Saber. You're not like challenging yourself. This is about creation and playing with sounds and making your own music that is inspired and uses sound loops and audio tracks from other songs. It's really a phenomenal experience.
You can become Childish Gambino.
You can become an adult Gambino if you work really hard. The Impatient for $9.99.
That was the best thing you've said today.
Thanks, man.
I know.
Paranormal Activity: The Lost Soul for $14.99.
We're close. You hit that $12 mark, and that's a buy.
That is Adam's price. If you want anything from Adam, it's $12. Eve Valkyrie Warzone for $14.99.
No.
Killing Floor Incursion for $9.99.
I would say yes.
Yeah, man. Until Dawn: Rush of Blood for $7.49.
Yeah.
Angry Birds VR: Isle of Pigs, $8.99.
Isle of Pigs, and no.
Isle. Creed: Rise to Glory, $17.99.
No.
Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, $8.99.
If you have people play VR, absolutely.
Gun Club VR, $14.99. Nah.
Okay.
Space Junkies for $11.99.
Yes.
Yep. Intruders Hide and Seek for $12.99.
I would probably let it hit 10. I'd say no.
Yeah. Super Hot VR for $17.49.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's been cheaper, but that's still a great price for it. Quar Infernal Machines for $20.99. No. Virtual Reality for $14.99.
Yes.
Blood and Truth for $31.99.
Oof. I didn't play it. How about you?
Man, I just didn't get on with it, so I'm going to say no. Beat Fever for $16.99.
Gotta love the Beats Fever. Yeah, no.
Resident Evil 7 Biohazard for $14.99.
If you haven't played it yet, you suck and you're scared little pansy.
Pixel Rip 1989 for $11.24.
Gonna rip in my pants if we don't end soon. No.
Moss for $19.49.
Yes.
All right. It just came out of nowhere, didn't it? I think I'm going to go back and listen to all the times that Moss is on sale and listen to you say no. And now it's on one of its highest prices, and you still say, I'm tired of you, Adam. All right, that is it for this week's episode of Play PSVR, the podcast. It was episode 73, right? Am I counting right? Hope you enjoyed it, guys. What'd you say?
You couldn't count if you used your dilly dong.
I mean, I could. I'd count to one.
You can only no.
I'd count to one, Adam.
Could you? You'd have to be able to reach it first.
Way to derail the outro, Adam. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you everybody for the titillating images of sexy alien ladies and mine and Adam's faces in various positions. I'm pretty sure I'm going to call Walgreens here once we get done with the podcast so I can make a poster. So maybe next week you'll see one of the pictures, maybe a couple of the pictures hanging out behind me. I wish I knew how to make a good quality shirt that didn't fall apart after a week, because I'd make some shirts too. Maybe I'll make some shirts and try to send them to people. I don't know, man. We're getting crazy here. So tell your friends, tell your family. You know what? Do it. Pop down on one knee. Make sure you tell your fiance that we are Play PSVR, the podcast, the greatest PSVR-centric podcast on the internet, probably the greatest podcast on the internet if people just heard about us. So that's why you got to tell them about us. You know, if they want to know what we're doing, hit us up on Twitter, @PlayPSVR. You can see what we've done on Reddit. I mean, people don't seem to care about Reddit. I don't know. Reddit's not a social media platform, but we're still there. We are Play PSVR, so you see our comments and stuff like that. Hey, maybe you're listening to this and you want to see what we look like, see what these pictures look like. Go ahead and check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/PlayPSVR. Sometimes we do a video recording on the podcast so Adam and I can look into each other's eyes and really, vibe, man. We can really oscillate with each other. Hit us up, subscribe, hit the bell there. Go on iTunes, subscribe there, leave a review. We'll get around to reading it, and we'll probably give you a shout out or something like that. We love talking to you guys. Give us all the trash talk you got, too. You can email us, contact@playpsvr.com. We'll check it. It's a crapshoot. We don't know who's going to respond. It'll be me. It'll be Adam. It's going to be great, whatever it is. So that's it. Thank you for listening to Play PSVR, the podcast, where virtual reality is our reality. See you next week. Ni hao, bitches.